In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. It is your girl, Shalom Unique. Grab your journals, grab your pen, do whatever you need to do to make this your moment, because I have something juicy for my friends today, y'all. It has been a crazy day, and I am just so excited to get this out to y'all because I literally just got so many downloads and so much clarity that I ran home. I didn't even finish taking my hair down. I ran home so that I can give this to my friends, because I know if I'm going through it, somebody else is going through it as well, and we ain't alone. That's the point. We're not alone. So let's talk about something that I know that we all struggle with at some point. At some point, it crosses us. And it may look different for different situations. But the thing is, or the question that came up for me today was, how do I know if it's my intuition speaking or if it's just fear? Because I noticed today that they can feel very similar. How many times have you had a strong feeling about something, but you didn't really know if it was a warning, red flags, or if it was just your insecurities trying to infiltrate whatever you got going on? Maybe if you ever felt uneasy about a situation or a person or an opportunity, but instead of trusting yourself, you start to second guess everything. You go on this spiral. Have y'all ever been there before? Or is it just me? I know it's not just me. If you've ever been stuck between, is this a gut feeling or am I just overthinking? That's what I'm talking about. Is this a gut feeling or am I overthinking this? That is what we're talking about today, because today we are going to break it all the way down. We're going to go over how to differentiate between fear and intuition, how we often confuse the two, and how to strengthen the connection to your inner wisdom so that you can stop doubting yourself and start making decisions with clarity and confidence. Because that is so important in your healing journey. And if you are ready to get into it and start trusting yourself, I want you to comment below and say, I trust myself. Type it below. Go ahead, get it in there now. Make the choice and say and decide, I am going to trust myself from here on out. Let's start with the simple truth. It's really simple. And I oftentimes make it way harder than it needs to be. Intuition is calm. Fear is chaotic. Simple. Your intuition is a deep knowing. It's a quiet, steady voice that doesn't need to yell. She ain't that. It doesn't come with a racing heart or spiral thoughts of what ifs. It's truly that feeling of this isn't right, or this is the way to go, without needing to explain why. Fear, on the other hand, she's loud. She's full of anxiety. She's full of doubt and over analyzing the situation. Fear is the girl that makes you feel stuck, panic, and hesitant, because fear thrives on the worst case scenario. And often fear is what is talking you out of opportunities that could actually be good for you. Fear is that girl that you all up in here with it. Whereas intuition is quiet. It's literally that still voice that don't need to explain herself. Fear, how do you know when it's fear? when it's loud, when it's taking up a lot of room in every way possible. Fear in your head, it's in your heartbeat. Your hands is trembling. Your thoughts are racing. But intuition literally does not need to explain herself. She said what she said. I think that broke me down today, y'all. When I tell you, it's just amazing how your inner wisdom and what inner work can prepare you for, what inner work changes you to become. Because if you think about it, you see it on yourself, whether or not you consistently operate in fear, or if you consistently able to trust yourself and your intuition. Now, for me personally, I see it in my life when I am operating in fear, or in the past when I've operated in fear, how chaotic my life was. It is always something going on. There's always just something that's overstimulating me. I'm always overthinking about a situation that did not even happen yet. Overanalyzing every little thing. Life is just stressed and chaotic versus a lifestyle of peace and knowing. And I think for me, I kept getting peace and knowing confused. Just simple. Confused with boring and being still and being stagnant. That's what it is. I confuse peace with being stagnant. So I was creating a life that consistently I needed to be heart racing, productive. That was productivity to me. If my heart not racing, if I'm not overthinking, if I'm not racing through it, then something ain't right. When that is not the life for me. Once I learned to trust myself, even when things weren't necessarily going my way or how I planned for it to go, because it's not that things aren't going your way, it's just not going how you planned it. Even when things weren't going as I planned, or even when things don't go as I planned, I still have a knowing and a peace, because not only do I trust God, but I also trust me and my intuition and my knowing. It's such a beautiful thing. It's crazy. So an example of this would be, intuition would say, something about this person feels off. I can't explain it, but I feel uneasy when I'm around them. Whereas fear would be like, I don't trust them. Nah, because this happened to me before in the past, and I've been hurt before. And what if they try to betray me? What if they do me wrong? What if they don't like me? Another example, intuition sounds more like, I should take this opportunity. It feels right, even though it's outside of my comfort zone. Point blank, no explanation. Fear is like, what if I fail? What if people judge me? Oh my God. What if I'm not enough? What if it don't work out? I gotta think about this. I gotta think about that. But do you see the difference? Intuition is grounded. Fear is still. Intuition is confident in the decision that is about to be made. Fear is like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to do. Fear is ready to react. It's a difference. Now, let's talk about why so many of us mistake fear for that gut feeling and that intuition. One reason why we mistake fear and intuition is due to past trauma and wounds. If in the past we've been betrayed or abandoned or hurt before, the beautiful thing that our mind is able to do is to create a defense mechanism, because it wants to protect us. So sometimes that defense can show up as fear disguised as intuition. That's how smart we are. We don't too smart for our own goods. Another reason why we mistake fear for intuition is because of overthinking and anxiety. The more we kind of in our heads, the harder it is to hear our true inner voice. Because intuition speaks in clarity, Fear thrives in mental chaos. So fear can be all over the place, and we miss intuition. We miss that small still voice because fear taking up space. Yes, not that your intuition does not take up space. It doesn't take up space right now. And we'll get into how to get your intuition to take up more space than your fear. We're going to talk about that in a brief minute. So the third reason why we mistake the two is the lack of self-trust. If you've ignored your intuitions before and gotten burned, you might struggle with believing in yourself. Second guess yourself now, the harder it is to know what's real. Most common reason why we mistake the two, because we feel that we've made choices in the past that were wrong choices. So that can look like, for me, I don't know what it looks like for you, but for me, I recognize that looks like the choices I've made with friendships and relationships. So I in the past have thought I've chosen people who were good for me. And in the end, felt that I made the wrong decision. With inner work, with sacred flow, with going through the process with journaling, I discovered that no choices that I've made have been bad choices. They were choices that I needed to make to learn whatever I needed to learn. Yeah. Notice that this showed up for me knowing that somebody wasn't good for me. And this is in relationships and friendships. I oftentimes would friend people, and I would meet somebody, that first conversation, first interaction, already know we don't need to be nobody. We don't need to be friends. We don't need to be friends. But what do? Continue the conversation. I don't want you to feel bad. Oh, I need somebody, so I want to be that person that you need. Really stuck in that people-pleasing phase. And then in the end, now I'm 2-3 years deep into this friendship, 2-3 years deep into this relationship that I knew from the jump was no good. Now we pulling hair and scratching walls down in order to disconnect and separate. When I would have trusted myself in the beginning, we wouldn't have had to even do all this. I wouldn't have had to go through this if I would have trusted me instead of trying to prove me wrong. Not knowing that is just silencing my intuition. What's this piece of hair, y'all? It's distracting me. Not even realizing that is silencing my intuition. That is silencing the spirit within me. Because I am a strong believer that your intuition is the Holy Spirit. Yeah. Sometimes the spirit ain't in us. Yeah. It's real faint because we've ignored it so many times before. We've pushed it to the side. We've allowed fear come in and second guess everything that the spirit is telling us, that our spirit is telling us, that our intuition is telling us. We've allowed all the things to make us feel like we're not worthy. We've allowed all the things to make us feel like we don't deserve it, that it's not meant to be, that it can only happen for others. We've allowed all the conditioning, all the life experiences to make us view ourselves as someone that we can't trust. We've lied multiple times. The only person that knows how many times you've lied is you. So we witnessed ourselves lie, and then we turn around and we want to trust ourselves. Like, so many things that we have to fight against to make sure that we are staying authentic to ourselves and building that trust with God, with the Holy Spirit, and with our inner self and our inner knowing. But here's the good news, girl. The more we practice listening to ourselves, the stronger our intuition gets. So the more we have those moments, I trust the person that I am, I trust my character, the stronger that voice will be, the quicker we are to trust ourselves and to move in clarity and to make decisions in confidence. So before we move on, I need you to say right now, I trust in my inner wisdom. Yes. All right. Let's get into some practical ways to stop confusing fear with intuition and to start trusting yourselves. Because I just told y'all to say it out loud and some of y'all like, how I do that? First way, to get still and listen. Intuition speaks in quiet moments. Fear yells. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, take a pause, take a breath, meditate, journal, put on some soft music, dance, move your body, do whatever you need to do to get out of your head and tap into your spirit. A second way is check your body's response. Intuition feels neutral and calm. Okay, Sherry the mirror. Even if it's a warning, even if it's like a red flag, she not like, steady. Fear, on the other hand, feels anxious. So if your body is feeling anxious, you feeling tight, you feeling frantic, pay attention to how your body is reacting to these things. Because if your body is feeling frantic and you hyped and you boom, 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 that is a sure way to understand and to know that you are operating in fear. Let me take a moment. Let me find some stillness. Let me get out of my head. Let me take a moment to trust myself. Let me listen to what my spirit is telling me to do. Yeah? Reflect on your patterns. When was the last time you ignored your gut and regretted it? Think about when was the last time you mistook fear for intuition. And then the more you reflect in that moment, the easier it gets to tell the difference. So don't rush. Take your time. You don't have to do nothing that fast. Don't let nobody push you. Take a moment to reflect. Think about it. Think about a time before, and you're thinking about it, so now you can compare. Think about a time before where it was like, dang, I knew, something told me. How was your body feeling when that past situation happened? How did you feel? How was your mental state of mind? What was going on around you? Compare it to what's happening now. Are you in the same state of mind? Is your body feeling the same way? When you knew, what did that feel like? Start comparing so that you can find the patterns yourself, connect them, and then understand what's not. Yeah? Fourth, before you make a big decision, take the time to journal. I cannot stress enough the importance of journaling. I had to make a big decision today. When I'm unsure about something, I write it down so that I can read it back. Because sometimes all you got to do is listen to yourself. Read it. Read what you wrote. Read what's on your mind. Sometimes some people record, and that's cool. I like to write it down on paper so then I can now go back and read what my mind is doing. And then I'm able to identify what is fear. I'm able to see it. That ain't it. That ain't right. So if you are unsure about something, write it out. I like to ask myself, is this my deep knowing? Read it over and ask yourself, is this fear or is this me and my deep knowing? And the fifth one, practice trusting yourself in small ways. Start with everyday decisions. What to eat today? What do I wear today? Which route I'm going to take? The more you listen and acknowledge that you have been listening to the small moments in your everyday life, the easier it becomes in bigger moments to listen to yourself. Start small and acknowledge that you are listening to yourself. Yeah. Of these tips, do you feel that you need the most right now? Which of these tips do you feel that you maybe are better at than others? Drop that in the comment box below. because I want to know which tip works for you, or which tip are you going to try. Try all of them, but start small. You don't have to be that girl overnight, but hey. So I want to take this conversation a tiki bit deeper. Tonight or sometime this week, sit with these journal prompts and let your intuition speak. Write freely. I cannot stress enough writing freely. Don't worry about link. Don't worry about, oh, somebody gonna read this. Don't worry about any of that. Write freely so that your mind can flow. And that's another thing about trust. When you're writing freely, you're trusting yourself to write what your mind is thinking. You're not writing to correct yourself. You're writing to get the thoughts out. Okay? Freely. So, the following journal prompts. 1. When have I ignored my intuition and what happened? The second journal prompt I want you to write about. When have I confused my fear with intuition? Thirdly, how does my body feel when I'm operating from intuition and trusting myself versus fear? And then what small steps can I take to trust myself more? Think about those, write them out, take some time with yourself. Your intuition is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. I want you to be committed to journaling on this, because this will help you, one, understand when this happens, when you are operating in fear, what it looks like, and it helps you to differentiate fear and intuition. It pulls you closer to trusting yourself. So excited to have been able to get that out to y'all because it's amazing to me what our minds can do and what we allow it to think that it's doing. Okay, but anyway, let's move on. Let's affirm this before we say see you later. So repeat. I trust my intuition. I release fear and embrace my inner wisdom. I honor my gut feeling and move with confidence. I am deeply connected to my truth. Take those affirmations with you throughout the week. Write them down and pull them up whenever you feel like you are unsure of yourself. Please do me a favor. Like this video if you got value from it. Comment below. You are not alone. And if you know a friend that needs this message, share this video with them. Friend, your intuition has never lied. Understand that. Yeah? It's time to listen. I love you so much, friend. Keep growing and keep trusting. I'll see you next time I get a download. And yeah.